Hey guys! Today I'm going to be showing you that it's not too late to propagate for your holiday gifts. First half of this video, I'm going to be walking you through the fastest propagation method to make sure that you have plants ready for holiday gifts. And the second half of this video will be some inspiration of a few different ways you can really customize these plants, perfect for teachers, co-workers, extended family, those kinds of people, you know? I think this is a really nice gift. So here is my propagation bin today. The plants in my bin are looking great just 2 weeks later. So let's jump to 2 weeks ago when I put the box together. Today I'm going to show you the fastest, but also fairly simple and inexpensive propagation method to be able to propagate plants fast in time for the holidays. It's not too late to save some money and stress of shopping for like coworkers, teachers, people that as much as we like and want to give gifts, sometimes it's just not in the budget. Be sure to head to my holiday gifting playlist for all the videos I've made relating to this topic. It'll be in the description box and pinned to the top of the comments. Okay, so let's get into the best propagation method, in my opinion. The propagation bin. What I love about this is you can really use what you already have. In the past, I've used Tupperware, takeout containers with the clear lids, plastic fruit and vegetable boxes. You know, you really can use whatever you have. Whatever you use, just make sure it has a clear lid. Step 2 is to pick your substrate, and I will say I do prefer like sphagnum moss really, but to help keep the acclimation process of these plants to a minimum, I'm just going to be using my go-to potting mix. It's spongy, it's chunky, it's a little bit moisture retaining, but not too moisture retaining. So I think this is a good mix to do something like this with. Yeah, this really is just like my all-purpose go-to mix. I just love it. Fill it up, a couple inches. You can use really any planting substrate you want. You really can use whatever. You're just gonna have to tweak it a little bit depending on what substrate you use. So I recommend going with one you are comfortable using just to ensure that there's like less issues along the way. Because again, we're trying to keep this a fast process. Okay, so I've got my mix. Now I am going to go take some cuttings. Some things I'm keeping in mind as I walk around and do this are who the gift is going to. Since these are gifts, unless it's someone you know very well that already likes to collect and care for plants, I think it's best to keep the gifted plants on the easier side because, I mean, it's up to you. I just personally am not trying to stress anybody out by giving them like a super, like a calathea or something like that that's a little bit difficult to keep alive for a beginner. Some plants that I think are really good options, they're a really good combination of tolerant, easy, fast growing, and also nice looking. I think a lot of Hoya are really great options. I also think pothos, spider plants, peperomia, the thicker leaved, thicker stemmed, not velvety philodendrons are good options as well. So let's go take some cuttings. We are in my grow tent. And over here I have a Peperomia incana bin where I've been propagating some incana leaves. I think this is a great plant to give as a gift, especially because when you're doing like fairly last minute propagation like this, it's better to take a top cut if possible. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take a few top cuts from these Peperomia incana I've been growing in this bin. It's kind of some binception going on here. Here I have a Hoya, gosh, what is this one's name now? I can't remember, but I'm going to take some cuttings from this. Also, because it's a fast growing, fairly easy Hoya. Little side note tip, when I take Hoya cuttings, I like to keep the bottom of the cutting longer and the top of the cutting shorter so that I can remember which end to stick into the substrate. And the long end, I know always goes in the substrate because I've started cutting them like this. Such a small little dumb thing. It's very nice to not have to guess which direction to put them in the substrate. So that's why I started doing this. So I got 4 plants I'll be using as examples today. I have this Hoya here, Peperomia incana, Cebu Blue individual nodes, and Peperomia hoffmanii. So 6 little cuttings of each of these. It's better to do top cuttings because those will grow a lot faster than like node cuttings like these Cebus, but plants like Cebu, Pothos, Harli philodendron tend to look really nice even if they don't have like new growth points. It is a fast growing, fairly easy plant in my experience. So all I'm gonna do, it's so easy, you guys, is pop my cuttings so that the nodes are in the substrate. I have a little bit of extra space back here, so I decided to take 3 Syndapsis silver cloud cuttings also. But yeah, top cuttings are ideal. You definitely want to aim for top cuttings because they root a lot faster than node cuttings, but kind of depends on when you get started on this and how good of an environment you provide this box. So getting into that, now we have everything stuck in here. I'm gonna go ahead and water it a little bit more so that it looks like all the substrate has soaked up a little bit. You don't want it too soppy though, because you can add more water tomorrow. Put my lid on the box. The handle broke off on the other side, but yeah, here's my box full of plants. It's been watered. The best, most optimal place to put this box is somewhere with pretty high light that stays warm. Those 2 things really truly are the most important parts to get your propagations to grow quickly, is warmth and light. Let's go put my box where it will be living. It's pretty late in the day now, so there's not much light in here right now, but here it'll get good light. I can keep good tabs on it and checking it the next couple of days. I will keep you posted on this. Stay tuned. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I'm back the next day and I wanted to show you a little update of what your box should look like. In the mornings, it is pretty humid. It's actually been this way for a few hours now, and I'm gonna open it up. You can see it's pretty humid in here, so I'm just opening it up to give it a little bit of airflow. I'm going to do this for the following few days to help air it out just a little bit. Just kind of giving it a little bit of airflow. I put this together just 2 weeks ago, and let me show you some of the plants inside. We do have roots in just 2 weeks. The roots on this Hoya are not like incredible or anything, but these roots have definitely gotten longer. There's a little fresh fuzzy root here, and down here we have a couple of roots activating. Oh, here's a really good example. Couple Cebu blue pothos here. This Peperomia incana has little tiny roots. You can see some teeny tiny little roots there. And Peperomia hoffmanii. Do these have like the most amazing root systems in the whole world? No. Since we're showing signs of root growth, I do want to get these potted into their little planters. These are some of the ways that I like to spruce up little cuttings like this to make them look a little bit nicer looking for gift giving. Of course, you can go buy like a handmade planter or a planter from the big box store or something, but those can get pretty pricey. As much as I would like to spend even $10 buying a planter for everybody, thrifting is often just a lot less expensive than that and more realistic. So these are a couple that I have in my back pocket if I need them for myself or for a gift. They're there. I definitely was in this boat, but for a long time I felt kind of weird about not buying something new to gift to someone, but like there's already so much crap in this world to gift secondhand things like this. It's kind of like taboo or something. But the more I thought about it, because I definitely felt that way too. Growing up, my family didn't have a lot of money, like we had to be really creative with our gifts. So I felt really weird growing up, but now I've realized that if somebody cares that much about me buying something for them that's been pre-used or secondhand, like if they care that much about having something new, honestly, I don't think I really care to have someone in my life that cares that much about that. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the fact that we're thinking about each other through our busy, hectic, stressful lives, that should be enough, you know? So don't be afraid to like buy secondhand. There's a lot of really good stuff out there. To be gifted, bought, gifted, used from the thrift store. No, it's not always possible to find something good from the thrift stores. So as a little bit of a backup, make them yourself. And I know you guys probably all saw this one coming because I've talked about about making polymer clay planters so much over the years on my channel. I have a little playlist of all of my DIY planters that I'll link in the description if you need a little bit more inspo for your holiday gifts or like more specific detailed tutorials. They'll all be linked down there. I think I have some really cute tutorials out there, but of course they're mine, so I'm a little biased, but they're there. They're there. So a few little examples. This one was actually gifted to me from a friend from college, and I seriously love it. Just the fact that she took the time to make this for me means so much, and I genuinely love it. For this one, she spread the polymer clay over a terracotta planter to get a little bit of a mold and baked it in the oven and then pulled it out. And yeah, I'm left with this beautiful little Sansevieria planter. I love it so much. She made it a hanging planter, so that of course is always an option. Like, isn't that just so cute? That is so cute. I don't know very many people that wouldn't be obsessed with this, you know? Drainage hole, we can add drainage hole. This is a little bit of an easier option, but you can always amp it up by adding like a little bit of texture or I don't know, just a little something extra on the outside. So little braided pieces of polymer clay around the outside. Another one here is the same kind of concept. I built the planter base, added braids around the outside as well as legs, and then using a little toothpick, I just made little textured dots all over the place onto this. So it just gives it a little bit of a texture. I think it looks really cool. And of course, these little floral ones, which I do have like a very detailed tutorial on how to do these. I show how to make each individual flower and then also put them onto this polymer planter that I made. Yeah, I love those. I just love making little planters. Here's another one I made. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know anybody that wouldn't just love to get a little handmade planter like this. I really don't. I think it's such a cute little gift. So those are some polymer clay planter ideas. More detailed tutorials will be down in the description box if you're interested. The last way I really like to spruce up little planters for gifts is to actually paint them myself. And my favorite planter painting product is something a lot of us probably already have in our house, and it is fingernail polish. I feel confident recommending this because 5 or 6 years ago, my mom and I painted some planters and I used fingernail polish. My sister has this planter, I gifted it to her, and she has had a plant in it this whole time, and the fingernail polish has done just fine. So no chipping, fading, none of that. And especially for those of us that already have it in our house, we don't have to spend extra money on more supplies. Like, the holidays just add up so much. So anything to take off a little bit of that stress, like use some of that extra fingernail polish. How many of us buy a fingernail polish and like use the whole bottle? I never really have done that, but hey, let me know. Here are a couple little hand-painted planters that I've done. For this one, I used fingernail polish. It's just over a ceramic planter. Ceramic planters like this, although they are still pretty inexpensive, I think they're gonna be around like $6 to $10. If that's in the budget, this is a really good option, but if it needs to be even a little more budget-friendly than that even, I think it looks really, really cute to paint over small little terracotta planters like this. Especially if you're painting smaller planters, it's going to be a lot less time consuming and also a lot less money consuming to buy the smaller planters. Like, the smaller it is, the cheaper it usually is. This is like only $1 or $2 at the big box store. So mine I've had sitting in a terrarium so that it could patina, because I just think it looks a little bit cooler when there's patina on it, but you could totally just buy them new, do it on a fresh terracotta, and it would look really nice. But yeah, this is one that I did today just to show you as a little example that it can be done. So this one is a little freshy. I like to try for something a little more detailed, but you could absolutely do something a little more simple. You could paint like a little checkerboard. You could like pour some nail polish along the edges so it could drip down really cool. Stay tuned because on Friday, I'm going to be showing you 10 different ways that you can customize a planter that are inexpensive, budget friendly, and can be gifted to a friend with our little propagation box cutting. So stay tuned. The link to that will be pinned to the top of the comments once it becomes available. I don't know, maybe subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can see when it goes live. Okay, so let's take out all of our little cuttings because we're gonna get them potted up. What I will be doing from this point forward is I'm gonna gather my little planters that I'll be potting in. I think I just wanna do these ones. Pull out my plants. Also, this is a great time of year if you don't want to do the propagation box to pull off any babies off of your succulents, you know, sansevieria, aloe vera, jade, you know, those kinds of plants, your cacti and succulents to use as gifts. If you're not feeling like you could get a propagation box done, you could definitely do that as well. But yeah, in this little terracotta planter, I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little bit of substrate to the bottom, just straight out of my box. And pop our little cuttings in. And even though they have very small roots, I'll show you what we're gonna do next, just to help ensure that our plants are able to grow a little bit more before the holidays. And me personally, I do think it looks a lot nicer if you're able to put like multiple cuttings into one planter. Just looks a little more, I don't know, a little nicer. Okay. These are the Peperomia incana cuttings in a polymer clay planter. Here I have some pumice. I'm going to add a layer of this to the top of the pot. And yeah, it just makes it look a little more crisp and put together and clean and nice. I don't know. You could also use lava rock, you could top them with sand. You know, that's the thing about the customization. You can really just do whatever your mind can think. I mean, oh, see, look at that. Doesn't that just look so nice, so crisp? Oh yeah, baby. Same for this Hoya. There is the Hoya with the topper. We have our plants on their way to being rooted, potted into their temporarily forever homes that we plan to gift to our friends and loved ones and coworkers and teachers and all of the people in our lives. Of course, if you have your propagations already pre-potted or you have your pots already ready, you could just put your cuttings directly into the planters and then put them into the propagation bin to begin with. But if you're like me and a little bit behind this year, most years, then it makes more sense to get the cutting started the second we think about it so they can be getting going rooting while we prepare our little planters. So that's what I chose to do. It just is the most manageable to me in my very behind lifestyle. But now that I have them in their planters, I am going to just set them inside of another propagation bin. Again, I'm going to keep my cuttings in a warm, bright place. Key on warm, it's very important that they stay warm. Going to help them grow a lot faster. Add a little bit of water into here to help get things rolling humidity-wise. Put the lid on. And put both of my bins back. Oh no, it broke. Damn it. It broke. Right there. Dang it, I spent so much time on this. Put them back into the warm, bright spot and keep tabs on them up until I'm ready to gift them to my people. I hope this video was helpful and made you maybe a little excited to get some of your holiday gifts ready. I hope you got something from this video. As always, please thumbs up or thumbs down this video, letting me know your thoughts about this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! Don't forget to check the description box for those polymer clay planter DIY videos. Bye!